What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mellow 94. We live back with another discussion video, man. And today we talking about that Madden 19, bro. Do I have some information for y'all, man? So before we get into it, go ahead and hit that like button if you actually like the video. If you don't, you like it. You like the video, so like it. Go ahead and hit that like, man. Subscribe to the channel. Turn them notice on. Leave a comment down below how much y'all looking forward to this Madden 19. If you're looking forward to it at all. If you're not, if you like the upgrades I'm going to tell you about, if you like the differences, and you want the wishes just stay the same and they just make a carbon copy of Madden 18, go ahead and tell me that too, man. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the Madden 19 information and let's get it started. So first off, if you're for all the fans of the long shot story mode, man, they are bringing it back. I'm not sure everything is going to entail. I know it's going to be a continuation or what. Honestly, I'm going to be real with y'all. I never played in long shot. Go ahead and shoot me, fire off on me, at me, do whatever you got to do, but I ain't never played it. Honestly, I don't even plan on playing it. Well, I kind of plan on, I don't know if I'm going to check it out. I might check it out before Madden 19 comes out just to see if I want to play the long shot story in Madden 19. I may just play the Madden 19 long shot story. I may not even play Madden 18. So, yeah, moving on. Next, something that we all have definitely touched in some way, shape, or form, unless you just pass heavy and you never run the ball, then you wouldn't know anything about this. But for all the real Madden players out there who actually run the ball, man, this new feature called Hit the Hole. Now, I know everybody out there has experience running the ball into the lineman and getting stuck or just falling on the ground and trying to hit it a certain hole, and the running back just runs into the back of the lineman and just falls on the ground and just gets stuck until he gets tackled. Or by the time you get loose, somebody's coming to tackle you. I know you've experienced that. Well, apparently they fixed that. So when you run into the back of the lineman instead of getting stuck or falling over, what you can actually do is flick the R3 analog and in the direction of the hole that you're trying to get through, and that running back is going to run straight through that hole. Now, they've had stuff like this in the past, like in Madden 18, they had it where you can press the R1 or RB or whatever system you use, and it will actually go through the hole that you're trying to go through. But it sucks. We've all experienced that. If you haven't, it sucks. I'm telling you 4 of you. Like, you ain't even had to try it. But hopefully this one actually works. Using the trigger sounds better. It sounds like it will actually work better than the buttons. But you have to be careful because it's also another installment called Push the Pow. So what this is for the power backs out there when you're on short yardage. No holes are opening up. You just want to get those inches or get that 1 or 2 yard. You can actually run up behind the lineman and actually push the power. So you ain't gotta wait and hope that the power gets moved by the computer or that the old lineman actually kick in and move the power. You can actually use the force of your running back to move the power as well. What you do is like an extension of the hit stick. So you'll run up behind the lineman, you'll be pressing against the lineman, and you'll push up on the R3 trigger as if you're doing a hit stick to push the attempt to push the power. Hopefully they really show the distinction between it working for power backs and it working for finesse agile backs or one cut backs. So hopefully that display is actually seen and shown in this upgrade. So next, catching improvement. So they switched up the catching a little bit. The precision catching mechanism is actually more precise and more accurate. Now I know y'all done threw the ball and see the receiver just hoping he catch it in stride and keep running. Y'all hit that run after the catch and they do a possession catch. Or they do an aggressive catch and jump in the air. I'm like, what are you doing? Run, just catching in stride and keep moving. And they won't do that. Well, now it's been changed a little bit to where if you do a run after the catch or you do a possession catch, that receiver will not jump. I don't care where the ball is. I don't care where you threw it to. If you press run after the catch, that receiver is not jumping. So you better be smart with it. You can't just be pressing anything and hoping the receiver catch it. If you need that receiver to jump, you gotta hit the press and catch it to jump in the air. So hopefully with that addition, they can actually make that distinction between run after the catch and possession catch. See that since they would still both be on the ground, it's not really a heavy distinction as far as the gameplay mechanics. So hopefully they can have it to where the run after the catch is actually the run in stride and the possession catch is the catch and brace for impact. That's going to be a great addition to this game. So next, they got signatures for players. So what that means is, this is really just animation. It's not really much to do with the gameplay. But for example, if Cam twists his hands or rubs his fingers before he hikes the ball or walking up to the line, or whatever the case, if he does that in real NFL games, he'll actually do that in Madden. Or if a player like hits their pads or whatever walking up to the line before play, you'll see them do that stuff in Madden. So whatever real players do in the NFL, they've studied them and have put some of their signature moves in the actual gameplay. Like a Peyton Manning used to rub his towel before he walked up to the line, that would be something you would have seen in this Madden. So that's just a little cool little drop it in there. That's pretty dope. Now they have controlled celebrations. So now if you score or whatever, you can actually control what your player does to celebrate. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how you're gonna do the celebrations. Probably with the directional pad. That's what I'm thinking. Something that makes sense to me. But we'll see when it comes out, when they drop it. We'll see how that works. So they also have new coverages. So now they have 2 different versions of cover 4. You'll check that out when that drops. They have more distinct and more in-depth information about that on the released information. They now have the cover 3 flats are improved to better cover trips and bunch formations. So now you will cover their lineup better with them. They'll cover them overall better than they've done on Madden 18. Cover 2, the middle read covers higher routes in the cover 2 formation. So now when you do the high posts that just eat cover 2 up, they'll be falling back more to actually cover those type of routes. Now I like the concept of that, but at the same time I don't. If you pick cover 2, that's a weakness in the zone. That's the risk you're taking when you pick cover 2. Like, you're trying to cover other people's behind. If they can't make the adjustment, then they just can't make the adjustment. But cover 2, that area of the field is what is exposed in cover 2. If you don't want that exposed, go to cover 3 or make the adjustments in the actual play. Other than that, like, that's what's supposed to be exposed. So I ain't really feeling that too much. Like, let people be great and let people be sorry. Like, at the end of the day, skill is skill. Let it be what it is. They also have added a new play package called the Big Nickel. It's a 4-2-5 formation, 4 linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs. 3 of those DBs are safeties, so that'll be a fun formation to play with, to add into your repertoire. I don't know if I said that right, but it sounded cool. So jumping into franchise mode. All right, so they actually added a few schemes. You can say they added a few schemes. I don't know exactly how many they have on Madden 18. They now have 8 new offensive schemes and 6 defensive ones. So you can play with those schemes. The schemes have become far more relevant in Madden now. Like, they really changed it. If these changes are implemented well, really changed it to show up in this game. So saying that, when you change your playbook, you can see what schemes actually go with that playbook. And it will show what players, or when you're picking your players, it'll show what scheme they fit best in. Saying that, so when you pick wideouts, it won't be, you can put this wideout anywhere depending upon the overall that they have or whatever. They will actually fit in certain schemes better than they fit in other ones. So if you have a slot receiver, they won't be a good primary receiver because they are a slot receiver. Now your primary receiver, if they're not a good slot receiver, then they will not be good in the slot. They're good as the primary receiver, and they actually have that implemented. So when you put the players in their right scheme, they will actually be upgraded faster than players who don't fit your team, who don't fit that scheme. Alright, so saying that, this is going to show you how the players actually progress in the game. Now the weekly training is still the same. You still do the training once a week. But the only difference is, instead of gaining XP, you'll no longer get XP to build attributes. What you're actually going to get, so you're not going to get XP to build attributes like speed, strength, nothing like that. What you're actually going to get is you're going to get skill points, and they're going to upgrade the archetype, such as like the type of scheme the player fits. So what that's saying is, when you get the skill points, you're going to upgrade whether the player is good in the slot, or whether he's a good slot player, whether he's a good possession receiver, whether he's good, so on and so forth. If you have a QB, whether he's a good strong arm QB, whether he's good West Coast style QB, and you're going to be able to upgrade these players in this way so it fit whatever scheme you're running. And I love that. That is absolutely dope. It puts a lot more thought process into the actual franchise. Like, you really got to think about what you're doing now. You can't just jump in here, oh, this player looks good, I'm again. Oh, that player's good, and you can just go off with any player that you put into the team. No, if you put them in certain positions, they're actually going to struggle now. Oh man, I can't wait for that. They better do this right, or they gassing me all the way up, because I'm ready to see this, man. Madden 18 franchise mode was getting a little too easy on Madden 18, so hopefully this will make it a lot more challenging, and picking players, putting them in the right place. Injuries will be far more detrimental to your team. You can't just switch. I mean, I'm talking about receiver goals. I had 2-3 receivers down at the same time. I had my third, fourth string receiver just going off like it was my primary receiver. I'm like, it's kind of easy, you know what I'm saying? But now that they actually fit in schemes, that slot receiver injuries happen. Now you gotta put that slot at secondary and primary. They ain't gonna produce the same amount they was producing for you. They ain't gonna be able to do the same thing. Now I know it's Madden, so they say it, but to actually see it is gonna be a different thing. So we're gonna see how this works. But the way they're breaking it down and describing me, oh, I'm hyped. I'm gassed. Consider me gassed, revved up. Vroom, vroom, like this guy. I'm ready to see this, man. So moving on, now the development trait, they have switched that up a little bit. It's no more slow development, only normal, quick, star, and superstar. Superstar development trait will only be shared amongst 30 to 40 players in the league at a time. So everybody won't be a superstar. You won't have a whole lot of players with the superstar development. The way they do upgrade, it is a bit different now. In-game play of that player actually does affect the development trait. So if you have a player that is star development trait and they have exceptional on the field gameplay, it can change their development up to a superstar, and that's absolutely dope. I had this one QB on franchise. My starter got injured and the backup was at like a 69. And we were undefeated when he came in. He came in like 3 games, he threw like 6 TDs, no picks, crazy yardage, and he kept the undefeated streak going for like 8 games. I'm like, this man should be way better than what he is stat-wise. Like, that should have really affected him. But he didn't. He went from like a 69 to like a 74 in like 5 years. I'm like, oh, they tripping. But hey, I was able to keep the guy. Every time he came in, he worked wonders, so I wasn't too mad. But still, like, it should really affect. And if they're going off like that, that should really affect, because that would definitely affect how they're viewed in the real world. You know what I'm saying? But it's a video game. Hey, they do what they do. So moving on. So next, when you're actually doing the draft class, you can use a custom draft class. You can have it imported, created, or loaded. So with creating this draft class, you can actually create the hidden draft gems and stash them in the low rounds. So now you do the draft class. I guess it's not just completely random. You can actually choose to create the draft class. I don't know what that it really means in depth. Like, I don't like the idea of creating a draft class or creating gems. Like, I like the feel of it being all up to chance. That's what makes it fun and challenging to me. So the idea of creating gems and putting the gems on my team after I create them, I guess I'm seeing it wrong. I don't know. Let me know if I'm seeing it wrong down in the comments. If y'all got a better view, definitely let me know what's up and what that really means. But I don't like the concept of that too much. But the idea of actually having gems in later rounds is absolutely dope. I mean, Tom Brady came in the 6th round. Come on, man. I'm not saying that happens every draft, because they obviously don't. But there's a lot of players that go undrafted that become superstars or become stars. That go 6th, 7th round that become stars. Like, it happens. The latest I got a star was in like the 5th round or the 4th round. And it was like, it was a receiver. He grew to be a star, superstar, whatever he was. But that was the only time out of like 20, 30,000 times, that was the only time. So I'm glad they can actually add gems to late draft picks. All right, so next, new ratings. So now the QB They added new ratings to the QB, the wide receiver, and the O lineman. So now the QB you can upgrade throw under pressure when they're getting hit or when they're getting rushed, how accurate they are. I'm so glad they added this because it'd be sorry QBs that would just be going off. It don't matter how many times you hit them. It don't matter how much pressure you getting. It don't matter if they getting hit. They'd just be throwing dimes. I'm like, no, man, come on, man. Who is this guy? What is his name? I don't even know who this is. Like, come on. He's a third string bench player for like the Browns. Like, he should not be throwing stuff like that. But so I'm really hoping that's actually accurate. The throw under the pressure, the break sack, and the break tackle. So yeah, I hope they really just show that accurately in game. So for the wide receiver, you got short, medium, and deep route running. And for the O-line, you got run, block, power, and finesse. And you got pass, block, power, and finesse. And you got lead block. So these are some dope additions to the way you can upgrade players. Just to run through the rest on the code, if you do a coach and owner in franchise mode, you'll actually see them in their office with idle animations. If you choose a player, they'll be in the locker room. On draft day, instead of just doing the draft screen, you'll actually have a draft location with a stage, a crowd, and the players that's actually drafted would actually walk on stage and strike a pose whenever they're drafted. So that's pretty dope. That's a cool animation to add to the game. Another cool addition is you can take in-game snapshots and have them incorporated on the loading screens or in the menus on the news feed in the franchise. So that is dope. I love that concept, especially on the loading screen, to see your actual gameplay during the loading screen, or to see your actual gameplay in the news feed. That's dope. Menus is cool too, but I like the loading screens in the news feed. Team depth charts now have special positions. You got a slot receiver, slot corner, rushing defensive end, rushing defensive tackle, power back, and sub linebacker. So instead of just having the regular receiver and generalized for all the receivers, or the DNs generalized for all the DNs, so on and so forth, you actually have slot receiver, slot corner, the type of DN it is, power back, sub linebacker. So that's pretty dope. That's cool too. You can also choose team captains. I don't really know how important this is going to be to the gameplay or to the scheme of things, so I really don't care about it, but it may be cool for y'all. And last but not least, the regression of players. So they did switch up how your players actually regress. So they won't automatically lose speed or strength just because they're getting older. I mean, it does happen, but it doesn't happen for everybody. Some people maintain that depending on how they work, and that's something they're trying to add to the game. So it'll be based on weighted randomization, assuming that's going back to the skill point allocation, the way you should decide to allocate your skill points, and the way whatever archetypes you decide to build up, how to decide how the speed and the strength will actually fluctuate as that player gets older. So if they do that right, that would be absolutely dope, man. It'll be all in your hands on how you archetype your player, but it will be random, so you better be careful, you better think smart, and you better upgrade it right. That's all the information I have for you guys on Madden 19. I'm glad you guys stuck through the video with me and checked out all that information, man. If this information is half as accurate as they're claiming it to be, this is going to be the best Madden they've created thus far. Easily, by far, especially in franchise mode. Can't wait to hop online, try some of them run moves out. Man, this is going to be a dope Madden 19. If you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that like button. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you don't really understand, what you got questions on about everything we just talked about. If you want to look it up, go ahead and check it out on Game Informer. You can read up on it yourself. Just run back through the video. And go ahead and hit that like button, man. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, so keep a lookout on future videos. I'm going to be dropping a Deadpool 2 spoiler review soon. I know I'm late, but me and the missus saw it not too long ago, and we're going to have the review coming for you shortly. We're going to have some more Madden gameplay and some other gameplay coming for you. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, turn those noties on. And it's your boy Malo94. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.